The phoenixes return, rising from the ashes. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there lived a woman named Brandy. She was known for her resilience, her creative spirit, and her ability to heal those around her. But Brandy carried a deep wound, a series of painful endings that had left her heart shattered. Betrayals, broken promises, and lost love had marked her journey, and though she had risen each time, the scars remained. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Brandy sat by her window, gazing at the stars. She felt a familiar ache in her chest, a longing for something she couldn't quite name. It was as if the universe was whispering to her, urging her to return to herself, to the woman she had been before the pain had dimmed her light. Unbeknownst to Brandy, there was someone watching her from afar. A man named Knight, a figure from her past, had been silently observing her for months. Knight was a successful entrepreneur, man of power and influence, but his life was far from perfect. He had gone through his own series of painful endings: a failed marriage, a crumbling business partnership, and a betrayal by those he had once trusted. Through it all, he had carried a secret: his love for Brandy. Knight had known Brandy years ago, but back then, he had been too consumed by his ambitions to truly see her. He had let her slip through his fingers, and it was a decision he had come to regret deeply. Now, as he watched her from a distance, he saw her strength, her grace, and the light she radiated despite her pain. He knew he had to find a way back to her, but he also knew it wouldn't be easy. Brandy, meanwhile, was undergoing her own transformation. She had spent years rebuilding herself, piece by piece, after each heartbreak. She had started a small business, a cozy bookstore that had become a sanctuary for the townspeople. She had also reconnected with her spiritual side, finding solace in meditation and tarot readings. But there was still a part of her that felt incomplete, a part that longed for love, for connection, for someone who truly saw her. One day, as Brandy was arranging books in her store, the bell above the door chimed. She looked up and saw Knight standing there, his presence both familiar and foreign. He looked different, older, wiser, and carrying the weight of his own struggles. For a moment, they simply stared at each other, the air thick with unspoken words. "Brandy," Knight began, his voice trembling slightly. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to know something. I've been through hell these past few years, and the one thing that kept me going was the thought of you. You've always been my light, even when I was too blind to see it." Brandy's heart raced. She had spent so long building walls around herself, protecting herself from further pain. But as she looked into Knight's eyes, she saw something she hadn't seen before: genuine remorse, vulnerability, and a deep longing to make things right. "Knight," she said softly, "I've been through my own hell. I've been hurt, betrayed, and broken, but I've also learned that I can't keep living in fear. If you're serious about this, if you truly want to start over, then you need to prove it. Not with words, but with actions." Knight nodded, his eyes filled with determination. "I understand, and I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I've spent too long running from my mistakes. Now, I want to face them and you with honesty and integrity." As the days turned into weeks, Knight began to show Brandy that he was serious. He supported her business, attended her meditation sessions, and even opened up about his own struggles. Slowly but surely, Brandy began to let her guard down. She realized that Knight wasn't the same man he had been years ago. He had grown, just as she had. Their journey wasn't without challenges. There were moments of doubt, of fear, of old wounds resurfacing. But through it all, they held onto the belief that they were meant to find their way back to each other. They had both been through multiple painful endings, but those endings had led them to this new beginning, a chance to build something real, something lasting. One evening, as they sat together under the stars, Brandy turned to Knight and smiled. "You know, I used to think that love was about finding someone who would never hurt you, but now I realize it's about finding someone who's willing to grow with you, to face the pain together, and to rise from the ashes stronger than before." Knight took her hand in his eyes filled with love and gratitude. "And I've learned that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up even when it's hard. You've always been my light, Brandy. And I promise to honor that light for the rest of my life." As they sat there, hand in hand, Brandy felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in years. She had returned to herself, not the version of herself that had been broken, but the version that had been forged through fire. And in Knight, She had found someone who was willing to walk that path with her, no matter how difficult it might be. Their story was a testament to the power of resilience, of growth, and of love that endures even in the face of pain. Together, they had risen from the ashes, ready to embrace the new beginning that awaited them.